Morning. It's Saturday, October 21st, and Donald Trump's former campaign lawyer, Sidney Powell, has decided to plead guilty in the Georgia election subversion case. And this was one day before she was set to go to trial. And this move significantly changes the shape of what that trial is liable to be for Donald Trump in the state of Georgia. Because the ongoing state and federal prosecutions against the former president are pretty strong. So now we have one of the other, what shall I call them, participants in that terrible ordeal pleading guilty. So how do we think that's going to change the landscape for Donald Trump when he has to go to trial in Georgia? So this has to be viewed as a gigantic blow to Trump's pleas of innocence or whatever else he was pleading there. Because Powell, up until a day or two ago, was still posting false claims on social media that said the 2020 election was rigged against Trump. But on Thursday, she walked into an Atlanta courtroom and admitted that she was guilty of trying to interfere with the 2020 election. And her plea deal will require that she testify truthfully against her co-defendants in any upcoming trials. So this plea deal has put her in the forefront of those who are going to testify against Trump and any other people who continue the lie about the 2020 election. Now this is a huge breakthrough for the prosecutors because there is no such thing as halfway cooperation. So Powell has put herself in a position that she must tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, for as much time as the prosecutors need her to be a key witness. So instead of going to trial on 7 felonies, Powell pleaded guilty to 6 misdemeanors. And as part of the deal, the prosecutors recommended a probation-only sentence. Now, there's only 2 defendants in this particular incident right now. And the other one is the Trump lawyer, Kenneth Chesebro. But he hasn't invoked any changes in his testimony. He's going to go to court, and he wants to have a speedy trial. And Chesebro has pleaded not guilty. So for him, jury selection is going to begin on Friday. Now this is what Powell could testify about. She attended meetings at the White House on December 18th, where some of Trump's most extreme supporters encouraged him to name her as a special counsel to investigate the voter fraud, the supposed voter fraud, and to consider declaring martial law and to sign executive orders that would direct the military to seize voting machines. So Powell wasn't involved in any Mickey Mouse scheme. This was a major catastrophe that she was being called upon to manage. And then, of course, another Trump attorney, Michael Flynn, was there, and the infamous Rudy Giuliani was there. And then they had somebody called Patrick Byrne, who was the Overstock.com CEO. And they were big-time peddlers of the debunked election conspiracy. And Giuliani was also indicted in the Georgia case, and he has pleaded not guilty. Now, anybody that has seen Giuliani lately knows that the man is not well. He's a wreck. He's no one like the mayor who was in New York City when 9/11 struck. Giuliani has fallen so far that he's almost underground. So in any event, these plea documents make it clear that Powell is expected to testify about her direct involvement in the breach of election systems in Coffee County, Georgia. And that's where a motley group of Trump supporters collaborate with a local election official to access sensitive government data as part of their ridiculous search for massive voter fraud. So Powell was there when these things were going on. She's not a hearsay witness. She's an eyewitness. Let's remember that she was one of the key activists trying to prove the election fraud. And she was in Trump's orbit when they started filing lawsuits across the country that dubiously claimed to keep Trump in power. And you remember what happened to all those lawsuits. There were 60 of them that were filed, and 59 of them went right in the trash. They were turned down immediately. They were deemed frivolous and dismissed immediately. And Powell was right in the center of all of those activities. So it's important to recognize the fact that she's a major witness here. She's a cooperator. She can provide first-hand testimony about the things that went on, things they overheard. And if the prosecutors aren't satisfied with the evidence that's provided, they can just change this plea deal and put those folks to trial. So if she hasn't got a locked deal, it's not signed, sealed, and delivered until she delivers the information that the prosecutors are after to admit that they were trying to steal the election. She's going to have to say, yes, I knew it was illegal, and yes, I knew it was in fact a crime. So all of that is in play because she can testify as an eyewitness or as a person on the scene. And she will be testifying not only against Donald Trump, but there are 17 other co-defendants, including him, that she will be testifying against. And remember this, in many cases there's a code of silence that people adhere to. And she's breaking that code in a monumental way. So Sidney Powell has finally come to her senses and is trying to rectify the evil deeds that she did on behalf of Donald Trump, along with Rudy Giuliani, and filing those ridiculous law cases. So this is a major effect, and it will have a major impact on the special counsel's case against Donald Trump. Now, Powell is testifying in Georgia, but remember, whatever she says can be used against Trump in his federal trials, which is scheduled to begin in March in Washington, D.C. So this Georgia case, will have major effects on Trump's entire trial schedule. You know, he has 91 indictments against him. So this will be a very, very interesting piece of history. It could have the effect of turning the country's view of Donald Trump around. I doubt that, but I hope it does. Take care. Bye.